Arsene Wenger's shadow squad at Arsenal are in the Carling Cup semi-finals for the fourth time in 5 seasons, thanks to a thrilling quarter-final win at Blackburn. But in their way again are local neighbours Tottenham. One-day Ramos has guided them to the last 4 at Manchester City's expense. And as with 12 months ago, the scene is set for another stirring North London showdown. Yes, a very warm welcome to you after a short delay because of local transport problems in the area. Peter Brackley, your host for this evening, and quite an evening it promises to be too. As Arsenal, the Premier League leaders, and their bitter rivals from this part of the capital city, Tottenham Hotspur, renew hostilities once again for a place in the Carling Cup final. The Gunners striving to repeat their triumph then of a year ago, and Spurs thirsting for revenge. Such an enthralling scenario in waiting as they ready themselves for another 2 stirring confrontations, all starting here at the Emirates Stadium, where Arsenal have lost only once since they began life at their new home. But facing now a Spurs team who can thrill and frustrate, it seems, in equal measure. They are certainly unpredictable. That hasn't changed under their new manager Ramos, despite their improvement. And even though it's 9 years now, would you believe, since the White Hart Laners last got the better of the old enemy, 20 matches overall, including defeat here just before Christmas in the Premier League, even though their fans have suffered constant heartbreak in that time. There's no question that Spurs have the talent, the capacity to come out on top if they hit a peak over the 2 matches. Arsenal's team, as usual in the Carling Cup, won't be their strongest. Arsene Wenger, again, looking mainly to his fringe men, his youngsters, and excellent though they are, an average age of just over 20 for earlier rounds. I'm sure Tottenham will be understandably encouraged that many of the more established stars won't be facing them. This, of course, the second of the semi-final first legs. Last night at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea won a very eventful match by 2-1 against Everton, courtesy of a very late winner, an own goal as it turned out. And we'll be hoping for more of the same drama in front of nearly 60,000 fans in the Emirates Stadium this evening. So let's have a check then on the teams. And for Arsenal, it was indeed always likely to be the usual mix of mainly shadow squad members. 3 players are away at the African Cup of Nations anyway, Toure, Abui and Song. So this is the 11 then that Wenger starts with. The Swiss pair, Senderos and Djourou, are in central defence in front of the Polish goalkeeper Fabianski. And there are places for both Theo Walcott and Robin van Persie, now recovered from their respective injury problems. Nicolas Bentner rather than Eduardo partners Van Persie, although Eduardo is on the bench. Also in defence are Justin Hoyt and Armand Traore, and the midfield starters, along with Walcott, are Denilson, Diaby and Gilberto, but not Diarra, who's been left out because of his continuing disenchantment and not getting regular starts. For Tottenham, a big surprise in goal. Paul Robinson has been left out. He's among the subs, with Radek Cherny taking over between the posts. Elsewhere, One-Day Ramos has had his options reduced for a variety of reasons. Zakura's away in Ghana, Huddleston is suspended, and new signing Chris Gunter from Cardiff is cup-tied. And among those sidelined because of injury are Darren Bent, Gareth Bale and Younis Kabul. Still, it's all the same, a capable-looking Spurs formation, with Chimbonda, Dawson, King and Lee making up the back 4 there. In midfield, Ramos is pinning hopes on a foursome of Lennon, Genus, Young O'Hara and Malbronk. And up front, it's Keane and Berbatov, whose future has been the subject of so much speculation. But with the transfer window now wide open, he's still at White Hart Lane for the time being anyway. And so is Jermaine Defoe, back on the bench tonight despite scoring in the previous round at Manchester City, and apparently told by Ramos that he's free to leave if he wants to, which gave us quite a big surprise, I can tell you, to Defoe himself. Mike Dean is tonight's referee, and we're almost ready after this 15-minute delay for the start of the Carling Cup semi-final first leg. Looking at the bigger picture, Tottenham's need to progress in this competition might perhaps be greater, but Arsenal's youngsters are so relishing their success that their desire seems to be unquestionable. And Wenger's reward for persevering with them would be another appearance in the final and a chance, another one, to go all the way. Tottenham's losing streak against Arsenal goes way back then 9 years to 1999. 20 games since they last achieved victory over the old enemy. A 2-1 league success at White Hart Lane. Arsenal chasing a 7th League Cup final for Tottenham. This would be a 5th final should they get through, and while it's been 15 years since the Gunners last won the League Cup, the White Hart Laners have been successful more recently, winners over Leicester back in 1999 to bring them their 3rd League Cup title. Well, a cracking atmosphere, as you can imagine, at the Emirates Stadium tonight, pretty near capacity. Can Tottenham turn the tables on Arsenal this time around? 2 terrific games last season. Spurs were actually 2-0 up in the first leg at White Hart Lane. Eventually that one finished 2-2, and then Arsenal won the return by 3-1 after extra time. So off we go. Arsenal attacking the goal to our left. This is Giroud, who's only just come back to the Arsenal club after a loan spell with Birmingham. He did actually play against Tottenham while he was on loan there at St Andrews. This is Giroud now. And Senderos, 2 Swiss internationals paired together at the back. That was Traoré, then Diaby. Genius in quickly for Spurs. Now Ledley King. How welcome his return has been for Tottenham after such a long, lengthy layoff. He only played half a dozen times during the whole of the calendar year 2007. I think they're trying to ease him back gently. It may well be he won't play again until the 2nd leg of this semi-final. Chimbonda, one of several players in the Tottenham squad whose future seems to be in doubt, with Ramos threatening to allow a few to leave, not just Jermaine Defoe. He's very unhappy at their 2-2 draw with Reading in the FA Cup, a weakened Reading side at the weekend. And called many of the squad in for a dressing down, I gather, on Sunday. Pull your socks up was the gist of his message. Way by King. Well, they will hope can bring some stability to their back line. 111 goals conceded in all their matches overall this season. Scored anyway, scored and conceded. Not too many clean sheets for Tottenham. Danielson, who has the Fabregas role in midfield. Fabregas, one of the stars, sitting this one out for the Gunners tonight. Here's Bentner. Scored in the 2-0 win for Arsenal at Burnley at the weekend in the FA Cup. No easy ride though, that one. Burnley really matched them stride for stride. Constantly in their faces, the Championship team. And maybe that's the way to play them. Stop their rhythm. That'll be part of the Tottenham game plan. You can rest assured on that. Berbatov. Who can't be such an exciting player, but such an enigmatic one as well. Here's Walcott now. Broken up by Jamie O'Hara, who had his first Premier League start for Tottenham in that recent league meeting here at the Emirates, and did very well too against the likes of Fabregas. Now Berbatov streaking away, trying to link up with Keane. They do have a terrific understanding, the two of them. Well, that's a foul by Mel Bronk, who himself was a scorer in the quarter-final win at Manchester City, but was a little lucky to see out the game after a terrible lunge on Luka, the City player, that should have earned him a red card. Well, there's no doubt about this man's extraordinary talent. 4 goals in 1 game recently. He's got 13 this season and Keane 14. And between them, during their time together, they have notched up over 70 goals in total. Berbatov linking with Keane, then it's Genius. Now Dawson back in tandem then with King at the back. Here is young O'Hara. Earlier this season he was out on loan at Millwall. Van Persie back at the Arsenal starting 11. Up comes King. Now then to Berbatov. It's a lovely ball as well. What a chance here. Ledley King breaking from the back. And still he's kept going as well. Arsenal only just about recovered in time then. Here's Lennon. The danger certainly hasn't passed. Berbatov. Then Malbrock. And again in towards Keane. No offside. And Walcott can break now. Over comes Dawson to curtail the threat. At least he hopes he had then of Nicholas Bentner. Oh, what a break there by Ledley King. Edging his way back to full match fitness. Really came surging out of defence in such confident fashion. Didn't quite have the legs to get away. O'Hara. Now it's Senderos. Here's Chip Bonda. Michael Dawson, who's missed a few games recently because of illness, has been suffering from migraines. O'Hara. No, the flag's up for offside against Keane. But he can pick a pass, young O'Hara. Thrust into the limelight with the game here in the league recently, which is certainly one that Robbie Keane will remember. He had a penalty save. He hit the frame of the goal. But in the end, Tottenham were rather unlucky to lose by 2-1. Bentner's winner, that was his header then. Bentner, who actually came on to score with his first touch. Radek Cherry, the Czech Republic goalkeeper, brought in then tonight ahead of Paul Robinson. No real explanation given from the Tottenham officials, not from the manager. We've just rung the changes, was all he would say. But Robinson did commit another howler at the weekend in the FA Cup in that draw with Reading. Gilberto. This is Traoré. Then Diaby. Gilberto's on the ball. And then Danielson. As Arsenal look quickly to move it to their passing rhythm. Broken up though, and away comes Malbrock. It's been a confident start here by Tottenham. Keane, looking to exploit that pace of Leonard. Abu Diaby. Now Gilberto, the holding player in midfield. Danielson and Diaby will have license to get forward in support of the front players. One of whom is Van Persie here, and it was a push by him. He really was in terrific form before the injury that interrupted his season for a couple of months. Came back briefly, but then had a muscular problem that's kept him out. Tottenham with some 5,000 fans inside the stadium. It may have been a short trip for them, but it was a long journey with all the transport problems. Bentner climbing high, but here's Genus. Cherry's had only 4 senior outings previously this season. A couple in the Premier League, a couple in Europe, in which Tottenham are still going strong, of course. Up goes Genus, and Keane offside. Just 2 shy now of his century of goals for Tottenham, Robbie Keane. And how he would love to add to his tally, or maybe bring up the century. against the old enemy here. It's a Wenger who has such faith and belief in his youngsters. No suggestion he was going to change things tonight. He was always going to persevere with them. Gilberto, not quite in that category, a little older at 31. But most of these players in the Arsenal squad are players who have come through the Carling Cup finishing school. Berbatov, that Percy to win it back, and now Gilberto. That Danielson has got Patrick from Brazil. Away a little hastily then by Dawson. By his own admission, hasn't been playing as well as he can do this season. That's applied to quite a few of the Tottenham players, although they've certainly improved since Ramos has come to the club. With no disrespect to Martin Jol, his predecessor. Free kick to Arsenal here. Ramos feels his players are much fitter physically now. And he's improved their diets as well. Their eating habits. Not too impressed by those on his arrival at White Hart Lane. He's cut out all the fried food for a start. Spoiled sport. Now Danielson taking on the responsibility here. Sent off in the last round at Blackburn. Well, anyway, Cherney. Danielson indeed has scored a couple of times in the Carling Cup this season. Berbatov scored in the semi-final in the last campaign. Keane. I think that came off him rather than Giroud. Free header then for Gilberto. Is Lennon drifting in midfield for a moment. He's out on the flank, but he can be so dangerous with his acceleration. Certainly gave the Clichy a bit of a tough time in the league game here recently. Traore has the task of containing him tonight. Here's King. Walcott allowed to take it on. Still Theo Walcott. Surrounded by 4 defenders then, and there was no way through. He has such lightning speed. Just come back from a shoulder injury and illness problems as well, Theo Walcott. Nothing wrong with his energy levels there. Do have one of the worst defensive records in the Premier League. 38 goals they've conceded now, but they've scored 42, the same as Arsenal. So they're doing okay at one end, just need to tighten things up at the other. They'll be hoping that King's return will help that to come into effect. Here's Chimbonda. He's had some outings in the centre lately. But now Dawson is back in harness with King. Now with the new man behind them in Cherney, well, new anyway in terms of getting in ahead of Paul Robinson. It's a bit sloppy from Giroud. Puts Senderos under pressure. Not quite sure what he was thinking of there. Traore. Danielson. Spotting Hoyt. Arsenal's right back tonight. There's King, who does read the play so well. O'Hara. White stepping in though. Now Diaby. He's got Bentner alongside. Clever ball in for that Percy. And he's seen Hoyt. And then Bentner! Good Good save by Czerny. That will do his confidence no harm whatsoever. Plunging across to make that save. He is so dangerous in the air, Nicholas Bendtner, as he proved, of course, in that league meeting recently, when he charged out of the dugout to meet the corner that gave him the winning goal. Honours a sub for his first touch on that occasion, but this time denied by the agility of Radek Czerny. Gilberto, it would seem, in some discomfort there. In time, Danielson's free kick, countered by Tottenham. Armand Traoré, just 18 years old, one of so many outstanding prospects at Arsenal. Here's Diaby. Then Gilberto, a little loose with his pass. Back they come again, Diaby, scored in the previous round very early on too at Blackburn, but well wide of the target on this occasion. Another who's been sulking a little and saying he expected to play more often from the start in games. But I wonder, did Paul Robinson believe he was going to be left out? Don't do too much for his confidence. A big game like this, and the England #1, as he has been. I'm not sure if he will be under Capello, who's here tonight, incidentally. Robinson sidelined tonight. Capello is here with his full Italian entourage. Certainly getting around the grounds. Lucas Fabianski, who has the chance maybe to become the #2 then at Arsenal. Almunia, of course, is the #1 these days. And Jens Lehmann may well be moving back to Germany, to Borussia Dortmund. Van Persie, plenty up here for Arsenal. It's just nicked away then from Danielson. Couldn't quite get it under control, the young Brazilian. Van Persie had 7 goals in 12 games before his injury. The partnership with Adebayor really did look the part. Senderos lurking, and the strength to defend off Berbatov. A little forwards challenge then for a player who can be magnificent, can be moody. His team have not defended set pieces well during this campaign. It's another test for them here. Danielson whipping it in low. Corner kick as Gilberto arrived on the scene to put defenders under pressure. Danielson to try again. Bendtner certainly among the targets. Not a good one though. Thumped away by Genus on that near post. One of many trying to catch the eye of Fabio Capello before he names his first squad for the game against Switzerland coming up soon, when Giroud and Senderos presumably will be playing against England. Diaby. There is Senderos, showing composure too. Isn't always the case. Off Walcott, but out of harm's way. There'll be a test though for the Korean Lee, who, the rumour mill has it, will be on his way soon out of White Hart Lane. Here's Malbrock, who's been one of their most improved players this season. Bendtner, poor control though by the young Dane. That was Keane's header. There's an almost telepathic understanding with Berbatov. They couldn't quite link up this time. Denilson with Hoyt. Bentner. Only 19. He's a real talent. Gilberto combining with that Percy. Now Diaby. Traore on the overlap. Here is the young Frenchman. There's another one, Malbrook. But overall, there are, I think, 7 Englishmen starting in this game. Good news for Capello. O'Hara, an England youth international. That was sweetly done then by Malbrook. Lee into Lennon. Then with Keane, Lennon again. There's a good block by Senderos. And the final touch was off Aaron Lennon. He's got only 1 goal so far this season. I don't think he's ever scored in the League Cup. It's off Walcott, was it, or Lee? It's an Arsenal throw. This is their 3rd meeting this season. Arsenal won both the league games. Victorious at White Hart Lane, as well as in the match at the Emirates here in December. It's Diaby. O'Hara. No Sakura or Huddleston, remember, for Tottenham tonight. Sakura is at the African Cup of Nations, and Huddleston suspended after his rather foolish sending off at the weekend. Senderos. And he's a confident young man. Had that loan spell with Millwall I was referring to earlier. And he's come back there, he feels a much more mature player. So he learnt a great deal from the experience. He's always been a Tottenham fan, but he was actually on Arsenal's books as a youngster. Berbatov is onside here. But Fabianski had his wits about him. The deadly duo, Keane and Berbatov. Bentner. King held his nerve. Top-class defending from Ledley King. Halfway through what has been a pretty entertaining first half so far. Two such attack-minded sides. As their goal-scoring records will testify this season. Here's Berbatov. Was he impeded then by Senderos? He was, says Mike Dean, right on the edge of the box too. I'm not sure he had control of this here, Berbatov. Experienced enough though to play for the free kick anyway. He ran into Senderos surely. The Arsenal defender just stood his ground. Clever play though from Berbatov. You have to give him credit for that. Now O'Hara is hovering, Berbatov as well. And so Jermaine Genius. 5 in that Arsenal wall, being organised by Fabianski. It's only his 2nd home start, this, the Polish goalkeeper. So desperate to endear himself to the Arsenal faithful. Jamie O'Hara. He's gone for it too. Yeah, fairly close. His dad was a big Tottenham fan too. terrific admirer of Glenn Hoddle. O'Hara himself, well, the youngster, his favourite was Paul Gascoigne, who could take a free kick, that fella. Genus. Now Lennon, can he get away from Traoré, who rather sold himself? He was lucky there, Traoré. Lennon has pace to burn. Gilberto with Senderos. Really good feel to this semi-final. Giroud got himself out of trouble. Diaby beating Genus, deceiving him. Van Persie. Diaby again. On by Gilberto. Referee Dean admiring it all, couldn't get out of the way. They do play some exquisite football, but no end product. Gilberto is probably wondering if he has any future now. Wenger says he has. But he's not getting to start too many games, Gilberto. And at his time of his career, 31 years old, maybe thinks he should move on now. But Wenger still believes he has a big part to play in cajoling and bringing on the youngsters around him. And of course, he's given terrific service to the Gunners. Over 220 times he's played for them now. Senderos looking for Bentner. King was there. Walcott bundled over from a rash challenge by Mel Brock. It was clumsy. Van Persie eyeing this one up. Lethal on that left foot. Does seem to have added so much to his game over the past couple of seasons. He does have a bit of a petulant streak, but terrific talent. Robin Van Persie, the Dutch international. Seemingly fancies his chances from here. Bentley King trying to organise that defensive line for Tottenham. Here is Van Persie, and well gathered in by Cherney. Bags of experience at 33. Actually on extended loan from Slavia Prague. Genus did well then to retain possession for Tottenham. Here's Lennon looking for a run at Traoré again. Senderos is there. Poor delivery really from Lennon, and Diaby got into trouble. Good hounding by Chimbonda and O'Hara. But then Dawson was a little late. Don't think that card, that yellow card, is going to come out of Mike Dean's pocket. It's certainly a ticking off. Maybe a last warning for Dawson, who flew into Bentner then. Yet another sending off for a studs-up tackle last night. John Obi Mikel dismissed for Chelsea for the fourth time in his English career. Mike Dean taking a lenient view of that tackle here from Dawson. Senderos, Arsenal's captain tonight. King is skippering Tottenham and got caught then by Bentner. It goes to Nielsen, almost worked it on to the Dane as well. And then Gilberto going in. Two fully committed teams, but no shortage of good football either, for all the tension of the occasion. Berbatov. feeling is he will be staying with Tottenham at least for the rest of this season, although you never know with the transfer window still open. O'Hara. Berbatov, who can suddenly explode it to life. Danielson's clearance. And King will latch on to it. Tottenham's most likely route to Europe remains the cup competitions. And Ramos certainly didn't take the League Cup lightly in the earlier rounds with strong lineups. They've yet to concede a goal in the season's competition. Jamie O'Hara. Well, that was risky and he's got caught. Big problems now for Tottenham. Bentner with Van Persie in the middle. And Ledley King has spared O'Hara's blushes and has given him a right ear bashing now. Just lost his bearings. Lost his focus. And his team almost paid the price for it, and maybe would have done, but for the vigilance of Ledley King. Just underlines his importance to this Tottenham team. We don't get too many clean sheets. Senderos was far post along with Bentner, but couldn't make any impression. Just can't give the ball away in that kind of situation as O'Hara did. Diabianco very competitive in the midfield for Arsenal. And the feeling is they've become a much tougher outfit overall these days, the Gunners. As they showed in their win at Everton recently, and again at Burnley in the FA Cup. They had to show their resolve then, and came through in gritty fashion. Goals from Eduardo and Bentner seeing them through in the end. Certainly they had to dig in the league game here recently with Tottenham. Berbatov getting the Spurs goal. Adebayor and then Bentner for Arsenal. Here is Berbatov. What a great ball that is for Robbie Keane. And then Mel Brook. What a chance. Wonderful vision initially from Berbatov. Keane's opportunity came and went. But then Steve Malbrook had another opportunity that he will feel surely he should have tucked away. You can just see his expression there as he turned away in disappointment. The man whose goal clinched success at Manchester City in the last round after Defoe got the opener. Lennon, Berbatov. Juru just in ahead of O'Hara. Berbatov again. He has such a wonderful technique, and look at the weight on that pass for Robbie Keane, with Fabianski fully committed. We've got plenty of defenders back there, but Malbrook still won it in the air. And Spurs will take great encouragement from this, if nothing else. Arsenal looking suspect at the back, and Fabianski surely shouldn't have come roaring out of goal like that. And Malbrook getting his header in, but some really gifted individual play from Dimitar Berbatov. No wonder the Tottenham fans idolise him, and Ramos is determined to keep him. You can hardly blame him for that. Ramos, who was at the Emirates with Seville, his former club, in the Champions League earlier this season. Plenty of success, of course, in Spain for Ramos, including back-to-back UEFA Cup triumphs. Gilberto. A good ball as well on Van Persie, and ghosted in at the far post. They hadn't really picked him up then, Tottenham, but the angle was too tight. Here's Mel Brook on the rebound for Spurs. Here's an open game, just as we hoped it would be. Berbatov. Arsenal defending a high line. Danielson. In goes Malbrock from Berbatov's pass. And this time Fabianski is there to collect. Not a game you can take your eye off for a moment. Walcott being hounded by Lee. Free kick to Arsenal. Best chance of the game really so far, falling to Steve Malbrock. Player who did take his time settling in at White Hart Lane, but has been very influential, as I was mentioning earlier, for Spurs this season. Up goes King. Master in the air against Nicholas Bentner. Keane's after this one with Giroud. Suspicion he might have handled that. But Berbatov going on. Oh! Terrific strike and a very, very good save too from Fabianski. Just oozes class, this fellow. Made that little bit of space for himself, and there was bend on that too. Okay, wasn't the right height for the keeper, but he still had to push it away. And he did that with strong hands. Senderos in this pulsating semi-final. O'Hara. Now then to Lee. Late kicking off, but it was worth a wait. O'Hara. Danielson. Asking too much of Bentner, with King in close attendance. Some magical touches from Berbatov. The price on his head, £35 million, they're saying. I think what they're really saying is we don't want to let him go. He's put Keane in here. Genius alongside Jermaine Genius! Just under 10 minutes of the first half to goal. It's a goal they have been threatening. Another sublime touch from Berbatov. Keane kept his head, and so did Jermaine Genius. Brilliant play by Tottenham. Look at this for a touch. Perfect weight on it from Berbatov. Really composed ball in from Robbie Keane, and Genius, who made that dash through from the midfield, no one to come back with it, and he was able to guide it into an unguarded net beyond Fabianski. And they will feel it's a goal they fully deserve, and I don't think you can argue with that. No wonder he's celebrating. But remember, they were ahead in the league game here when Berbatov scored. Lennon lost control though. Traore turning away from Lennon. Now it's Diaby. Traore taking on Lennon. Berbatov back defending now. Still Diaby. Gilberto. Now Danielson. Broken up by Lee. Keane. Lovely ball in for Steve Malbrock. Tottenham surging forward again. They do look dangerous. And they have their reward. But back come Arsenal again. Barely time to draw breath. Malbrock. There's the Frenchman again. No one more relieved than him to see Gina score after his miss earlier. Traore to Senderos. Well, just to put the record straight, it was Adebayor who gave Arsenal the lead. Berbatov then equalised in that league match here in December. Here's Berbatov now, and then the winner from Bentner. This is actually a much better game. Diaby. Denilson. Walcott. Getting the better of Lee, but Malbrook will come tracking back to help out. Keane. An unfair challenge on him by Giroud. Well, he saw his team turn the tables on Tottenham in the end in December. That was a struggle, and so is this. Different personnel, but he has the utmost faith in his youngsters. Wenger. Bonda to Berbatov, whose talent has illuminated this first half. O'Hara. There was a handling offence in there. I think he tried to play the advantage, Mike Dean. But now he has brought play back for this free kick then to Tottenham. Who haven't beaten Arsenal in their last 20 attempts. Must have just brushed the arm there, did it, of Diaby? O'Hara. Floating this one in. Not quite sure who that came off, presumably Gilberto. Doubts about his future as well, Pascal Chimbonda. Ramos has been assessing the situation with all the players at his disposal. No doubt will be making his judgment soon. But he'll be pleased with the way they're performing tonight. No two ways about that. Good claim by Fabianski. Trying to send Denilson on his way, and there was a trip. Maybe not intentional, but certainly there was contact. Longidas. Just his fourth goal for Tottenham this season. A player who does like to make these bursts through from midfield. And it was perfectly timed. Wenger will be unhappy that no one went with him in a red jersey. Fast and furious. This Carling Cup semi-final first leg, it's going Tottenham's way at the moment. Berbatov with Keane. Well, I'm sure any of the top four clubs would love to have him in their ranks, but Tottenham are very anxious to retain his services. You can see why on the evidence of the first 42 minutes tonight, let alone the rest of the season. Although he did go through a little spell when you felt maybe his body language suggested he did want to move on. But he's back in the groove again now. And reminding us of his thrilling talent. Berbatov, Keane alongside, got the touch as well. And then Ginas drawing the save from Fabianski. Super first half is for Tottenham. And here's an injury for Philippe Setneros. Caught by by his own colleague there, by I think it's Diaby. Martinez will be hoping to win favour then with Fabio Capello, and that will have done his prospects no harm. Scoring this goal. Rather haphazard defending by Arsenal. He's just onside here, Keane. Berbatov spotting his run in almost nonchalant fashion. Look at his technique here. Giroud climbing. It was a poor defensive header on the volley through to Keane, who's got time to look up. And Genius has made such progress through the middle then. He had a long way to travel, but he made it. And it was easy enough from there. 2 minutes to be added on at the end of the 45. Shutout so far for Tottenham, with King here certainly helping them to secure things at the back. He didn't play in the semi-finals last season because of injury. Brock slotted on for Berbatov. Onside, Keane as well. Here is Berbatov. Very clever finish too. Barely any backlift. His technique is admirable. Playing like this, you get in any team in the world, let alone the Premier League. And Arsenal really have their work cut out, just containing his threat, his menace. Tottenham look as if they're capable of scoring every time they attack. Tough night for Fabianski and his fellow Arsenal defenders. Taking a deflection off Robin van Persie. Corner then to Tottenham, who've had only one away win in the Premier League this season, but have the edge in this semi-final first leg. King and Dawson have both come up from the back. Berbatov is no slouch in the air either. Only partially cleared as far as Mel Brock. O'Hara to drive it back in again, but Danielson is there. Mel Brock on his way back, able to make that interception. Half-time arrives, and a huge roar to greet it from the Tottenham fans in the Emirates Stadium. Berbatov has been absolutely brilliant in this first half, helping to set up the only goal so far, scored by Jermaine Genius, with a big assist too from Robbie Keane, and they are definitely good value for it. Arsenal really haven't created too much so far, but no doubt they'll be very anxious to do something about that in the second half. At this stage, in this Carling Cup semi-final first leg, it's Arsenal 0, Tottenham 1. Welcome back from me, Peter Brackley, to the second half of tonight's Carling Cup semi-final first leg from the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal trailing Tottenham by a goal to 0, and Arsene Wenger has made a double change for this second period. As you can see, Eduardo and Sagna coming on at the expense of Giroud and Van Persie. We think they're both tactical decisions. Van Persie, of course, has only just come back from injury, and this has been Giroud's only appearance so far in an Arsenal jersey this season. It's ended at the halfway stage. Tottenham, with Berbatov in sublime form in that first half, really have played very impressively. Can't really think of more than maybe one chance that Arsenal created. A header from Bentner, well saved by Cherney. But Tottenham have had plenty of chances. They've got one goal, they might have had more. But first, Spurs fans, beware. In that sequence of 20 games in which they haven't beaten Arsenal, they've led 10 times, but never held on to win. Chip Bonda looking to release Aaron Lennon. Sanya's got to right back, and Hoyt has switched to the centre. Sanya, of course, who is a regular in Arsenal's Premier League team. I certainly thought Maduro was struggling against this man Berbatov and Robbie Keane with their movement up front and their cohesion. O'Hara, the keeper's lost it. It's hooked off the line. Mistake then by Fabianski. I think it was Danielson who bailed him out. Here's Keane. Really nervous defending by Arsenal. Chip Bonda. Then O'Hara, good ball for Mel Brock. Tottenham starting the second half as they ended the first. Aberration then from Fabianski. Mike Dean wants that taken again. A little bit of jostling going on. Bentner and Berbatov. Or was it Dawson? Anyway, he saw what happened, Mike Dean. Because it was Dawson, I would think. Gilberto keeping an eye there on Ledley King. Here's O'Hara to try again. Once more, he caught the eye in the first half, O'Hara, as he did in the league meeting here towards the end of last year. Sanya, French international. Here's Lee, the Korean. Now Diaby. Way by White. Now in this central position and at the back. Well, he has played in the Carling Cup earlier in the season. But Eduardo up front now in place of Van Persie. And he is really in hot form. The Croatian international, Brazilian born of course. 11 goals in 14 starts. He's got 6 goals in his last 4 outings. Van Persie in truth did look a little off the pace. Stabbed away by Dawson. A new menace for him to contend with then, now that Eduardo has come on. Eduardo, who's been used to hostile derby matches from his time back in Zagreb. Dinamo Zagreb and Hajduk Split. And that, he says, was really a hostile game. But no love lost between these two clubs either. What Tottenham wouldn't give now to end their hoodoo on enemy territory as well. Danielson swapping passes with Eduardo, and then Danielson's given it away to Pascal Chip Bonda. He's played in 4 semi-final games against Arsenal in the past in the League Cup. 2 for Wigan when they overcame the Gunners a couple of seasons back. And then lost to Manchester United in the final. Not had a great deal to do so far. Czerny on his call-up, in preference to Paul Robinson. Real shot there, sprung by Coach Ramos at the start. Here's Walcott. It's not too much change out of Lee yet. And it's fouled again, Mel Brock. He's been quick to come back and help out. Genius. Offside Berbatov. Only just though. Got both goals in the cup tie at the weekend against Queen's Park Rangers. Berbatov. He has been in sparkling form. Certainly tonight. He has been magnificent. Gilberto rolled on for Danielson. The touch from Walcott, but Gilberto couldn't take it in his stride. Point getting the better of Berbatov. Doesn't always have too much patience with his teammates when a pass goes astray, Berbatov. But they know if they can get him playing, get him in the mood that he's in this evening, they have some asset. A man who can transform any match in their favour. In goes Danielson, then Gilberto with Senderos. Too long though for Eduardo. Arsene Wenger believes he's found his fox in the box he's been looking for some time in Eduardo. Certainly had more opportunities lately, the Croatian international, and he's responded superbly. Keane, Malbronk, squeezed on for Berbatov, offside. Wenger has revealed this week he thought about trying to sign Berbatov when he was at Bayer Leverkusen. But in the end decided he had enough strikers at his disposal. He didn't need him, he might be rethinking now. Berbatov himself says he's fed up with all this speculation about his future. He says he's happy to stay. His agent's been saying otherwise. But the latest word is that they would like a statement from Tottenham, just to tell him exactly where he stands. I think it's clear enough from Ramos. He wants to keep him. Even more so after the first 45 minutes in this game. Senderos. Up goes Genius. And Keane's on his way here. Robbie Keane for Tottenham. Well, he had Berbatov racing up the wall. So racing, maybe not racing. Perhaps that was why he went it all alone then, Keane. I don't think Berbatov was going to make it. So that did reduce his options. Diaby. Threatening now for Arsenal. On to Walcott. Well, he was in his way. And was then impeded by Walcott. His only goals this season have come in Europe. Yet to get one in the Premier League. Wenger has played him up the front, he's played him out wide. I'd say he's had him in his pocket so far, Lee, but he certainly curtailed his threat. Berbatov with cushion header down for Keane. Constantly on the move. Malbronk with O'Hara. Now it's King. Certainly played well in cup ties this season, Tottenham. They've lost only one so far of 10 coming into this game. Another jittery moment then from Fabianski. Dimitar Berbatov in for Keane. Every chance that if they stay together, Keane and Berbatov can go on to become Tottenham legends. The way that other pairings have been in the past, the likes of Greaves and Gilzean. And recently Klinsmann and Sheringham. Crooks and Archibald too. Remember that. Gilberto. Now the Gunners find some momentum here. Bentner. On to Eduardo. failing to deliver. He's a natural goal scorer, as his form recently has underlined. It's been a flourishing partnership too with Bentner in the Carling Cup this season. Ten minutes gone in the second half. And the balance of power is still with Tottenham. Very close game last night at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea beating Everton 2-1 in the end. This I'm sure will be just as close. And with the return still to come at White Hart Lane. Berbatov's flick, read by Juru, by White I should say. Dawson's long pass, and it's too heavy for Robbie Keane. Sanya, here is White, certainly not short on pace, not surprisingly so. His parents are both champion sprinters. Bakary Sanya. They haven't quite got their game together, Arsenal. Tottenham have been closing them down very effectively. Stopping their rhythm, their customary rhythm. We've got a free kick here, Spurs, for the foul on Berbatov. The 12th League Cup semi-final, and it's going to plan at the moment for the team in white. So Hara, way by Sanya, only as far away as Mel Brock. Some nifty footwork by him to earn the throw off Sanya. They had lost only 3 of 16 competitive games coming into this one tonight, Tottenham, so they've been in decent form in general terms, just conceding too many goals. They've had only 3 clean sheets all season. What they wouldn't give for another one tonight. It was Chimbonda stepping in, and then Lennon on to Keane. Played in for Berbatov, just couldn't stretch. Now comes Abu Diaby to Bentner. Excellent play by him. But Diaby was never going to reach the return pass for all his endeavour. Mel Brock. Led off by King, their steadying influence at the back. Certainly needed somebody like that. There he is again, King, the skipper. But he rather lunged out there at Eduardo, conceding the free kick. He clearly thought he timed it okay. Mike Dean didn't. Denilson will take it. Kick for the likes of Bentner. Has fallen here on the rebound to Lennon. Keane's right up top. Still Aaron Lennon. Swept on by Genus to Lee. Mel Brock, good play by Lee. Berbatov in the middle, still Berbatov. And they were hanging on a little there. Were Arsenal. Again, not defending with too much conviction. Eduardo. His manager now says he expects him to score every time he's near goal. He's playing with that much confidence. On by Danielson. Traore's cross. Eduardo couldn't quite reach it. Blocked away then by Malbrock to Berbatov. Lee. Now Berbatov again. Mischievous challenge by Gilberto on the Bulgarian. He really has caused Arsenal so many problems. O'Hara. Chimbonda. He's quite a favourite with the Tottenham fans, even if the manager isn't too convinced. O'Hara. Shania. Berbatov on for Keane. Arsenal sticking to their passing principles. But is it going to be enough tonight against this very determined Tottenham team? Second best so far, Arsenal, and no dispute. Traore with Diaby. Up goes King. Now Diaby. Traore lending some support down the left. He might have overrun that. Oh, he managed to dig his cross in. Good take though by Cherney. Even Berbatov couldn't control that one. Diaby having to fend off Genius, who stuck at it though. No, in fact, it's a free kick to Arsenal. Gino's the culprit, but very much a hero at the moment in the making for Tottenham with his first half goal. That divides these two rival clubs from North London. Watched by Fabio Capello, eyeing up potential talent for his England team. Not that Wenger is ever going to include too many Englishmen. There's got a few out there, and there are some Englishmen coming through too at youth level. Danielson. It was Hoyt, one of the Englishmen. Now Traore. Skipping away from Lennon. Danielson. Too heavy really then for Eduardo. You can't sit back and let this team play. And Tottenham have certainly been in their faces, harassing them at every turn. And looking so dangerous themselves when they've been on the attack. Plenty of positive intent with the likes of Lennon and Malbrock. And of course the front two. Here's Chimbonda, with Eduardo closing in on him. Nearing the three-quarter mark. Lee with the header, then Berbatov. Got a bit careless. But Arsenal a bit short of their normal sparkle so far this evening. Lee with Malbrock. Tottenham will certainly be thinking they've got a wonderful chance here of taking a lead into the second leg. O'Hara to Jermaine Genius. It's Diaby, who's over-aggressive there. Is it going to be caution? No, I think just a warning by Mike Dean, which I think is sensible refereeing. Certainly has been a dirty game, hasn't it? Competitive, of course. Mainly played within the rules. That's King. Looking for the run here of Keane. Malbrook. Then to Lee. King again. Only 2 defeats for Arsenal this season in 33 outings. Seville beat them in the Champions League and Middlesbrough in the Premier League. Up against it tonight. Again, some really good batting there by Malbrook. Genius. That was Bentner in the way. Gilberto. No, Dawson in ahead of Bentner. And the flag is up against Berbatov. Arsenal fans doing their best to get behind their team and give them a lift. Haven't really got going in the second half and were disappointing in the first. So far so good for Ramos, the man who took over from Martin Jol back in October time after so much success in Spain with Seville. He knows all about the heat of a derby too. He was injured in one back in Seville. Betis and Seville, of course, the big rivals there. He was actually hit by a bottle thrown from the crowd and knocked out cold. Survived to tell the tale. He's a stern-looking character. But the Tottenham fans, I think, like what they see so far in terms of his rebuilding. Dawson, Sanya's underneath it. So I was saying, he really has worked on their fitness. They're looking lean and mean. I think too many of them were overweight when he arrived at White Hart Lane. That was Bentner nudging it on for Arsenal. Lee in the way. Now Malbrook. It's been a bit disjointed, Arsenal's performance. Sanya. Mistake there by Hoyt. That's led in Berbatov. They got 4 up here of Tottenham, but he couldn't find the killer pass. Out of character for him. Gilberto. Straight to Chip Bonder. Nobody really taking a grip on the game for Arsenal. Certainly not in the way that Fabregas and Flamini have been doing in the Premier League. Just over 20 minutes to go in this first leg. Berbatov. Free header then for Senderos. Berbatov is back on the ball. Keane wanting it played through the middle. Genius. Certainly not settling for the 1 goal. Keane, I think, was very unhappy about the challenge on him. Still complaining bitterly. Too often that Arsenal fail to score. Ooh, hesitation then from Senderos. Keane still protesting. Lennon again on the charge for Tottenham. Keane's at the sharp end with Berbatov here. Put in for Lennon. Four in the box now for Tottenham. Still Lennon picking out Berbatov. And then Diaby to rescue Arsenal. And there was a foul. Only twice have Arsenal failed to score this season against Slavia Prague in Europe and then Portsmouth in the Premier League. And he certainly wants more from his team, Arsene Wenger. Just play it there alongside Ramos. He's number 2. His interpreter as well. Playing, of course, a former Tottenham player. Gilberto again can't pick the right pass though, and away comes Pascal Chimbonda. Then Berbatov. Jamie O'Hara. What a good match he's had. Now Brock. I think Spurs have found a gem in O'Hara. I gather he's got Irish connections, so they're sniffing around, although he's played for England at under 21 at youth level rather. Senderos. Danielson. Good ball for Bentner. He's got Lee for company. And now Brock. So often they've doubled up down this flank. Lee and now Brock. They've lost out this time. Here's Abu Diaby. Certainly he'll want it on his right. Still Diaby. Squeezing it on to Sanya, who's overhit his cross. Way beyond Gilberto, but I think there might have been a late challenge there. Just as he played that ball across then, Bakary Sanya. It's Ledley King who came hurtling into him. Oof. Took Sanya with him. A bit of a reckless tackle, a bit of a reckless charge really by King. He might have something to say about that later. Right on the edge of the box. We've seen players sent off the list in recent times. The substitute might have to be substituted. Not even watching this, Sanya. As he lips away. Traore with the free kick. Goodness me. What a waste. Well, that sums up their night so far. They don't have too many bad ones. Look of despair on his face, Arsene Wenger. Not used to this. His team simply haven't functioned. But all credit to Tottenham. They have really outmaneuvered them in every department. The League Cup, of course, the one domestic trophy so far to elude Arsene Wenger. He felt they were very unlucky in the final against Chelsea last time and wants them to have a second crack at it. Oh, Keane, unlucky. As he tried to bring it down, it just rolled agonisingly away from him. I'll tell you what, Arsenal were in some disarray there. Danielson. Bentner. Wenger doesn't really have too many other options among the subs. Only youngsters there. Sanya seems to be okay after his earlier injury. Eduardo's in the middle. So is Diaby. It was Dawson who flung himself in his path to block the shot. Gilberto. Diaby again. Really has worked hard, Diaby, and still grafting away. Well, that was Malbrook to break it up and then release Berbatov. And here's a chance for Lennon to show his pace again. Keane calling through the centre. No service. Played away by Traore. Denilson as Arsenal strive to up the tempo now. Now comes Cherney. Nothing suspect about his goalkeeping there. Maybe he'll be getting a run in the team now. Certainly Ramos doesn't seem too convinced about Paul Robinson. There are suggestions that he might be one of those that he's prepared to release. Tottenham free kick for the assault on Aaron Lennon. Well, they are still a work in progress, really, Tottenham. But they're on the right lines, you feel, under Ramos here. This is Kevin Prince Boateng replacing Steve Malbrook. Boateng, who's not had too many starts since coming to Tottenham from Hertha Berlin. He started the league game in December between the two. Certainly didn't catch the eye in the way that O'Hara did in that match. O'Hara getting involved here too, along with Jermaine Genius. Dawson couldn't get his head to it. Maybe Chip Bonder can. Oh, they're in trouble again. Ledley King couldn't quite convert the opportunity. Just wondered if he might have been held back there, but there was no complaint from him. Chip Bonder right in the thick of the action. Man from Guadeloupe. Keane. Three defenders in his way, including Sanya here. Just shy of the 80-minute mark. Gilberto trying to inspire the Gunners now. Eduardo. Walcott's making the dart ahead of him. Theo Walcott! Yes! Out of nothing, really. Accelerating clear, and for once Tottenham defensively were felt wanting in this game. Eduardo plays it through, he's just onside. Got the luck of the bounce there. Surely there was a deflection as it went past Cherney, which maybe rock-footed him. Walcott's goal though. Really fine through pass from Eduardo. Lee with a challenge, and actually hit the body then of Theo Walcott. And Arsenal are back on level terms. Tottenham will feel hard done by. And now it will be a test of Tottenham's resolve. Genius, who put them in front towards half-time. But that's now been cancelled out by Theo Walcott on his return to senior duty after injury and illness. O'Hara can't battle his way through, but this is Lee to King. Now Chip Bonder. They certainly haven't been at their best, but they're most productive tonight, Arsenal. But for all Tottenham's supremacy, they haven't managed to put them out of reach. But he'll know they can play a lot better than this. They'll just be relieved that they are now level. Bakary Sanya. Jermaine Defoe is about to come on for Tottenham as we see the goal again here. And there was certainly more than a touch of good fortune about it. Relief for Arsene Wenger. Almost a smile. But deep down they'll be very disappointed with the way that they have performed overall so far. But Theo Walcott has kept them in this cup semi-final. Much to his disapproval. Bartek getting involved with Walcott. It'll be Keane who gives way. For Jermaine Defoe's been scoring goals lately, but still hasn't managed to persuade the manager to put him in from the start. But then you can hardly blame him when you consider the way that Keane and Berbatov have been playing together. Eduardo, who seems to only need half a chance, half a sniff in front of goal. Bartek. Now then to Lee. Long ball from the Korean towards Berbatov. Denilson. Diaby. Nicholas Bentner. Sanya, that measure ball in towards Diaby. And then a miscue really from Gilberto, who hasn't scored yet this season for Arsenal, but then he hasn't played that often. Well, Jermaine Defoe said he was absolutely shattered when Ramos told him that he could leave if he wanted to. He was called in the other day to see him. He was expecting to be told he was going to start in the semi-final. Instead of which, Ramos said, "It's your choice." Intriguing haircut. I could just about manage one of those. Bonda. Back on the ball again. Defoe did score early on in the quarter-final win at Manchester City, but was then taken off after Zakura was sent off. Defoe had to be sacrificed. It certainly would seem that at the moment Ramos has made up his mind that his first choice pairing will be Berbatov and Keane, and Defoe will just have to wait for his chances if indeed he stays. The news that he could be available has alerted the likes of Aston Villa. Arsenal in full flow now with Sanya. Denilson. Nicholas Bentner. A little unlucky there. There was Defoe and Berbatov onside. Oh, and Lennon through the centre here, and then Defoe! A glaring miss. Only, what, a couple of minutes after being sent on. He really could have made a name for himself here. Written some more headlines. Great ball for Berbatov. Lennon into his path. And they'll give credit to the goalkeeper there, who did come out very quickly to make it hard for him. Traore too, I think, was the defender, but all the same, given his normal quality in front of goal, you'd have to put that one down as a missed opportunity. Jermaine Defoe might have won it then for Tottenham. O'Hara. it hit very well. Vital challenge there by the Arsenal defender. One of the senior figures in this team. And he's only 23. O'Hara. Dawson's got to the near post. That was Berbatov. Fabianski holds on. And the Gunners have been holding on in the last few minutes. I think found an equaliser. By no means are Tottenham setting for this scoreline now. Nor is he. Genus. Inside the last five, it's Gilberto to Senderos. Boateng. Turned back into Gilberto. And then a shot by Dawson. Didn't really need to do that, surely. Didn't learn that off Des Walker, his old colleague at Nottingham Forest, who taught him so much. Bentner. Through the legs, but then over the top from Denilson. Well, Arsenal will be relieved they're just still in this. As it stands, everything still to play for in the return. Senderos. Thumped away by Dawson. Senderos. The skipper kept his cool. Off King. Now Lee. King again. Defoe, oof, his legs were ripped from beneath him then by Senderos. He's trying to claim that he got the ball. No way. Such quick feet, Jermaine Defoe. 5 goals in his last 7 appearances coming into this one, Defoe. Genus with a free kick. Won by Chip Bonder initially. Boateng, then Defoe, O'Hara. What a prospect he looks. It's Walcott down injured. Still Defoe. No, the referee now has ball play back. Concerned about the health here of Theo Walcott. The last thing he needs now is another injury after all the problems that he's had in recent times. He's had so much attention, you forget he is still a teenager. There's that clash. I think he just turned awkwardly, yeah. Turned on his ankle by the looks of things. Theo Walcott. It's the end of his night. Almost into stoppage time at the end of the 90 minutes. Mark Randall, who played in the quarter-final, will be on to replace him for what's left of this game. A pulsating game it's been to Boateng. So yet to be another twist in the tail. Ledley King to Lee. Whose place will be in further jeopardy now they've signed Chris Gunter, young Welshman from Cardiff. Cup tie for this game. Cross-cuts kick in really determined fashion. Typically strong defending by King. which of course has earned him international recognition under past England managers. And he'll be hoping Capello has been impressed too. Randall on for Walcott. There's Randall. Gilberto. 3 added minutes. Diaby. Now Bentner. Didn't get a sight of goal. Randall. Then Gilberto and Diaby. Tottenham under pressure. Still Diaby. Can't quite force his way through, but it will be a corner. It came off Genus. Tottenham in control for so long, but Arsenal threatening to steal this now, right at the death. Danielson with the corner. Sanya. Plenty in there, including Eduardo. But his contact was a weak one. Suddenly sensing though they can win this here, Arsenal. Senderos. It will be tough, very tough on Tottenham. Who's your money on now for the return? The winners to play either Chelsea or Everton in the final. Back at Wembley, of course, this year at the end of February. Arsenal last season's beaten finalists. Of course, if it stays this way, it's 21 matches since Tottenham last beat Arsenal. Genus. Well, he is quick, Aaron Lennon. He got there too. But only at the expense in the end of a goal kick. That was some race, Traore and Lennon. It's been a super cup test, played in a really good spirit with some terrific football throughout, really. Tottenham, well, they'll feel a little hard done by in terms of the result in the end. Wenger's team got lucky with the equaliser from Theo Walcott after Jermaine Genus had deservedly put Tottenham in front. They couldn't build on that, couldn't put it beyond Arsenal's reach, and the Gunners yet again have come back to earn a draw. And it's really set up now, the return at White Hart Lane in 2 weeks' time. The final score in this Carling Cup semi-final first leg at the Emirates Stadium, it's Arsenal 1, Tottenham 1.